This has been something we've been working on iterations of for quite some time.
It's a chat tool for people with eating disorders.
It's letting me know that there's a number of approaches that we can try for reframing negative thoughts that we're having about our body. For example, we can try body acceptance strategies, body positivity.
We developed this tool using rule-based AI, where all the responses were written by clinical experts, including myself, a psychiatrist, individuals on our team. We spent years really perfecting these responses and deciding all of the rules that would allow individuals to go down different paths within the tool.
People can write in responses, some spots where they can kind of click buttons to make it easier for them to progress through. It's asking somebody to really start to think about this issue. Tell me more.
Dr. Ellen Fitzsimmons-Craft and her colleagues developed the chat tool. She's an associate professor of psychology and brain sciences and psychiatry at Washington University in St. Louis. Fitzsimmons-Craft says eating disorders are one of the deadliest forms of mental illness.
Up to 10% of the population in the U.S. will experience an eating disorder at some point in their lifetime. That's a huge number of people. That's up to 30 million people here in the United States. And at the same time, 80% of people with eating disorders never receive any kind of treatment. And even when they do receive treatment right now, usually it's not evidence-based. Our, medical providers and mental health providers in this country are not trained in this problem.
Even if someone finds a proper clinic for eating disorders, she says there are long waits, up to a year, and high treatment costs.
Eating disorders involve disturbances in one's eating behaviors and typically a really high level of concerns about someone's weight and shape. There's several different types of eating disorders.
That's why she says this is critical.
And so we had the thought that this kind of completely self-guided digital tool could offer a solution to this extremely wide treatment gap that we have. That maybe a chatbot could be a way to make our digital program available in a more engaging format, something that people could engage with kind of on the go in brief messages with warm, empathic responses.
It kind of goes through a flow of checking in with people. How's your day going? Kind of providing some tailored feedback. And then it might say, okay, we're going to go into our particular topic for today.
But for years, she says the investment was lacking, so the idea was not scalable. Until now, Fitzsimmons-Craft and her colleagues were awarded a 5-year, $3.7 million grant from the National Institutes of Health. They will be optimizing a self-guided, chatbot-based digital intervention with the goal of making eating disorder counseling more readily available to all.
And that the chatbot could also do some of the things that human coaches did in our prior programs.
She says the need is more crucial than ever because other chatbots can give dangerous information to people with eating disorders.
There are risks when generative AI comes into play.
She says those who are using ChatGPT-style large language models run the risk of polluting data with whatever gets pulled from the internet. A recent report found that these programs generate harmful eating disorder content at an alarming rate.
What it found was that 41% of the time, general-purpose generative AI tools like ChatGPT were giving harmful responses to eating disorder-related prompts. The chatbot, the ChatGPT-based tool, gave very specific suggestions about how to hide food away from their parents so that their parents might think they were eating when they weren't.
Children and adults at any age run the risk of exposure to misguided and harmful information when they are having a problem, which is likely to happen at a more vulnerable age.
95% of individuals with an eating disorder, their problem onsets before the age of 25. So these are problems that often start in adolescence or young adulthood, and then can really become entrenched from there.
And now it's asking me and saying, it seems like you're really struggling right now. If it's starting to feel too much, I can share helplines and someone trained can support you.
At the end of the study, if we demonstrate effectiveness of this tool, there might be multiple pathways to dissemination.